All right, I'm here again. Don't mind my voice. I've got a cold at the moment, but I am believing for healing in Jesus' mighty name. Okay, so if you've not been here before, I'm doing a series on Instagram and I'm sharing it to Facebook as well, called All Access Pass. And it's all about giving the Holy Spirit full access into our hearts, into our lives, because who knows, we often give Him full access to the portions of our lives that are presentable and pretty. So just like a guest comes into your house, you allow them into the kitchen, the dining, the main area, but you don't let them get into those back rooms that have the laundry that's up into the ceiling and it's kind of a bit funky and that you need to clean up a little bit. So you want them to see the pretty parts, but you don't want them to dig into the deep and the dirty and the broken parts of your life. So that's what we're talking about in this series. I think this is it should be episode 4. I'm pretty sure. If not, I've corrected it up here. I'm sure I have. But I'm going to talk about decluttering the space, or more so about maintaining that declutter. So the other day, I think I was sitting on the couch and it was a time I think I just put the kids to sleep. It had been either a busy day or a full-on day, and I was just tempted to just sit down and watch the TV. And whereas that's not bad, definitely you need that downtime to just chill and relax and just have time to yourself. But I really felt in that moment the Holy Spirit kind of pressing me to be don't watch the TV right now. And now maybe a month or a couple of months ago or a year ago, I'd be like, oh my God, this is the only time I have to relax. And then I would start downloading a whole bunch of reasons as to why I was frustrated with what he prompted me to do. And I was like, you know what? No, this is all about growth. This season is about growth. I'm not going to grow if I keep arguing with the Holy Spirit about what I need to do. So I'm like, all right, let me just press into that. And I turned off the TV and I just sat. And he was just telling me the importance of the refilling space and where I go to be refilled. So whereas obviously things like TV, food, all of that stuff, it's not bad in itself. But when we run to that stuff to be refilled in place of the Holy Spirit, so let's say the Holy Spirit's tugging you to spend time with Him, and then we run and then we try and fill ourselves up with that other stuff, then that does not provide the growth and the nourishment that we need to be able to keep going. So also, God given me, I think He continues to give me dreams. And I know when I'm going to other things to refill myself, because He will show me in dreams. These days He's been giving me consistent dreams about if I find myself driving to a Macca's drive-through in my dream. I had a dream where I was running to Macca's trying to get filled up, and I was I remember when I woke up, I was like, okay, so what does this mean? And the Holy Spirit was downloading to me you were just trying to get quick fixes. So when I find myself running to my phone or running to the TV or running to anything other than Him to get refilled, it's the equivalent of me going to Macca's to try and get filled up. Yeah, I might be satisfied for a moment, but I will not have that full nourishment that I would receive if I went to God. Or if I had a healthy and a balanced meal, right? So I feel like God just really wants us to give Him that space in our heart, to give Him that authority and that dominion and that freedom to be able to be the one to fill us up and to orchestrate what needs to be in what space. Another example I want to give is when I clean my house, or when my husband and I clean our house, we want the house to be spotless. Maybe people are coming over, maybe the house has just gotten a bit funky. We got 3 kids, we're people, so the house gets messy. So an area that always gets cluttered is the bathroom, the countertop in the bathroom. I'm just being mindful of time. But yes, the countertop in the bathroom. That place, when it's cleaned and spotless, it is amazing. It is sparkling. It is beautiful. But who knows? I'm a woman, so I need to I love doing makeup. When we're going out, it is my happy place. I've had to cut my time down because I used to be able to do my makeup and have a nice leisurely 1.5 to 2 hours. But now I've got kids, so I have to cut that time down to about 15 minutes, if that. So when I put makeup on, that counter space, stuff starts to creep back up and clutter that space that was once clear. When the space is clear, it feels fresh, it feels light, it feels so clean and crisp, and you enjoy being in the space. But slowly I was finding I'm doing my makeup here, I'm getting ready there, and I would slowly be picking items and putting them and re-cluttering the space that we had once decluttered, making it feel heavy, making it feel cluttered. And then I'm like, oh, but why is the space feeling messy, and why is the space feeling dingy and it's not as nice as it was before? And the Holy Spirit was kind of speaking to me the same message that I was just saying before in relation to the fast food. It's you need me to help you. You need me to refill this space. Just like the previous episode, I was talking about giving the Holy Spirit full creative control. So instead of us trying to refill spaces in our hearts, How about in those moments of calm, in those moments where we're looking to be refilled, why don't we just sit with the Holy Spirit and be like, okay, like you do the reorchestrating, you do the designing, you refill me with what needs to be there. Whereas probably maybe I was refilling myself through calling and gossiping to somebody, or whether I was refilling myself with like this TV show or this or that, and it's cluttering my mind, cluttering my space, cluttering my spirit, and I go to sleep and wake up and wonder why I feel so restless. I think there's a proverb that says pretty much like almost like a busy mind or like an overactive mind, it's like it leads to restlessness, or it leads to some kind of like disorder. I'll try and find the proverb and put it up. I'm not saying it the way that it actually is written, but it's pretty much saying that, yeah, we need to have those moments of peace and those moments of calm to just sit and not be so focused and fixed on trying to fill those spaces. That's the kind of, I think, generation that we have now. Like, you have a moment of calm instead of just being able to sit in the quiet and sit in the presence of God and sit and rest in Him. You know, those moments are the ones where it's like, oh, but I've got to watch the TV. Oh, but I've got to pick up my phone and scroll. Oh, but I've got to do this. And then we wonder why we're so exhausted, but it's because every second of our day we're filling ourselves up with junk food, which is like the TV, the this, that, whatever. And God's like, I just actually want you to spend, whether it's 5 minutes or an hour or half an hour, whatever time frame, you know, you want to sit and spend with Him. He's like, if you actually just spent time with me and rested in me, I could actually refill you. So, you know, it's an encouragement to those of us that when you feel drained or run down or you feel exhausted and you're like, oh my gosh, I don't have time to myself, just in those moments of quiet, in those moments where you manage to sit down for 5 minutes, ask yourself and ask the Holy Spirit, like, okay, what am I doing? And what do I need to be refilled with in this moment? And ask Him to refill you. And He'll definitely do that. It's the equivalent of Him redesigning the space and of you surrender control. You've sold all the goods in your house. You've gotten rid of everything from your house. And now it's like, okay, Holy Spirit, you are my interior designer. Like, you put what needs to be in me, and don't let me fill this house up and reclutter it with the junk that I'm picking up from the street, from the sides of the road when people are getting rid of their stuff. You don't need to be that person that needs to go and pick up all that junk and fill your house with it again and then wonder why your house is feeling cluttered and stuffy again. No, give that full creative control to the Holy Spirit like we talked about in the previous episode, and let Him fill that space. So that happens by us surrendering and resting in Him in those moments where He's calling us to just sit and rest in His calm. But yes, anyway, that's all for today. That is all for today, if I can get my words out. But I'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Peace.